Hey guys, it's Wisdom with Weston, episode 96. Let's get into it. Okay, this is Hebrews 8. It says here, verse 20, saying, "This is the blood of the covenant which God has commanded you." Then likewise, he sprinkled blood both the tabernacle and all the vessels of his ministry. According to the law, almost all things are purified with blood. And without the shedding of blood, there is no remission of what? Sins. There's no atonement. This is taught, the whole chapter is talking about two covenants, the Mosaic and the new covenant. Keep moving. It says, therefore, it was necessary that the copies of the things in heaven should be purified with these, but the heavenly things themselves with better sacrifices than these. For Christ does not enter the holy places made with hands, which are copies of the true, but into heaven itself. He makes a sacrifice into heaven itself. Do you see that? He makes a sacrifice into heaven itself. Now appear in the presence of God for us. Not that he should offer himself often. That's why he only offers himself once. As high priest enters the most holy place every year, the high priest has to enter the most holy place every single year. Jesus only has to do it once. And the high priest, by entering every single year, means that he's not making it to heaven. He's still trying to get into the heaven every single year by having to redeem or do remission of blood, a blood for remission of sins every single year, not only for himself, but for all of Israel. He then would have to suffer often. That's Jesus, the foundation of the world. But at once, at the end of the ages, he has appeared to put away sin by sacrifice of himself. Do you see that? It says, and it appointed for men to die once, then after that judgment. So Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. To those who eagerly wait for him, and he will appear a second time for salvation. Best way I can put this is the law. If you look at the law and you break the law, you realize that if I keep breaking the law, there's judgment on the other side. I need grace. The law is so good because the law says, the law is not telling you you can do this. The law is saying, if you don't do this, you've broken all the commandments. If you've broken one, you've broken them all. The law then shows you how hopeless, inefficient, sufficient you are for your own salvation. The law also then says, you need somebody else who can do this. Who else can do this? The law is like a trumpet saying, who can do this? Who can do this? The law points you to Jesus. Jesus says, I can do this because Jesus is a high priest that can walk into the holiest of holy places. He can walk into heaven because he has committed no sin. Since he's committed no sin, he dies a perfect death and he is resurrected. Here's the wisdom. Stop measuring yourself by trying to save yourself of what you can do. You can do nothing. This is the way how the whole world thinks about getting into heaven. I'll be a good person. If I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, God will let me in. No, he won't. Guaranteed, he'll let you into hell for sure, not to heaven. The only way, the only one way, the only sure way to get into heaven is to allow Jesus to be your mediator, him to be your God, him to be your Savior.